This half hour with the loss of a man who helped shape Oregon's role on the national stage. Former U.S. Senator Bob Packwood passed away on Saturday at the age of 93, according to his family. The Republican represented Oregon in the Senate from 1969 to 1995 before stepping down after allegations surfaced of sexual harassment, also sex abuse and assault. John Adams takes a look back at the controversial longtime senator.
In the hands of a politician, that is where it goes.
For over a quarter century, Oregon's Bob Packwood was a fixture in the United States Senate. But the Portland native became just as well known for the reason he left that governing body as for the mark he made on it. Packwood was elected to the U.S. House in 1962 and the U.S. Senate in 1968. The Oregonian's most well-known political accomplishments were his support of abortion rights and a push to preserve the Columbia River Gorge as a national scenic area. He was also an early member of the Republican Party to call for President Nixon's resignation and orchestrated a massive tax cut bill with the Reagan administration. Packwood would eventually become the ranking Republican on the powerful Senate Finance Committee. 1992 marked the beginning of the end for Packwood's political career after the Washington Post published an investigation detailing numerous accusations of sexual misconduct towards female staffers, including grabbing and kissing a 17-year-old intern.
I totally deny that charge, and the story that she has told is not true.
Many revelations came from Packwood's own diaries, which were subpoenaed by Congress.
I still think it's a terribly dangerous precedent when the government can seize your diaries, your most private, intimate thoughts, can seize them and turn them against you.
In 1995, the Senate Ethics Committee voted to expel Packwood from the Senate.
This sends a very strong message that women can stand up and speak out, and women can make a difference.
KGW was at Packwood's Portland office the next day and spoke with staffers about the vote.
I don't think it's just. He's a good man. He's worked his whole life for the country. I mean, he's dedicated his whole life to service, and he doesn't deserve it.
The senator would resign that day, ending a 26-year run in the U.S. Senate and a 32-year run in Congress. Packwood would blame heavy drinking for not being able to remember many of the accusations he was accused of.
I'd come the next morning after a party with my wife. I, in many cases, could not remember what I'd said. In some cases, I could not remember who I'd said it to.
He was replaced in a special election by current Senator Ron Wyden. Wyden's team releasing this statement on Saturday, saying, quote, "As the Oregonian who replaced Bob Packwood in the Senate and on the Finance Committee, I acknowledge his commendable record on abortion rights and tax reform. But his horrible history as documented in his own diaries will forever overshadow that public record. Simply put, historians' first line about Bob Packwood must include those women who he abused and assaulted for years and years." Packwood stayed mostly out of the spotlight after his resignation from the Senate, but did have a second act as a political lobbyist. He passed away on Saturday at the age of 93.
And that was John Adams reporting. We also received a response from Republican gubernatorial candidate Christine Drazen. She says, quote, "Bob Packwood was a consequential figure whose influence shaped generations of political leaders and public policy debates. As Oregon reflects on his life and legacy, I extend my deepest condolences to his family and loved ones." This morning, most of the victims of the Nippon Dino Wave incident have been returned home. Saturday, the Cowlitz County Coroner's Office held a procession along I-5 to return 9 of the 11 victims to their families. As for the other 2, Dylan Miller is outside the coroner's jurisdiction, and Gilbert Bernal was already returned home. With the recovery over, state and federal investigators are trying to determine what caused that disaster. We are following up on the city of Portland's efforts to reach a deal on the Moda Center renovation. The goal is to help keep the trailblazers here for the long term. But city council members say a proposal from the mayor most likely does not have the support it needs to pass. Investigative reporter Evan Watson is following this for us.
I mean, we've had enough talking. We're past the budget. We need to act now. I'm very supportive of using city dollars to do that.
Loretta Smith is ready to go, supportive of Portland meeting the Blazers' request for a renovated Moda Center.
It's not just for the Trailblazers. It's for the fires, for the many concerts, and also those things that go into the Moda Center. And it is our responsibility to keep it up.
Other council members are more skeptical.
At this point, I'm raising questions. I mean, saying, please explain to us what renovations are Blazer specific and which are not.
Good evening, Portland!
The Moda Center is a city-owned building, a hub for all types of entertainment.
Are we at risk of losing musical acts, things other than the Blazers?
But if the city agrees to fund an upgrade, where's that money coming from? Mayor Wilson's proposal to use $75 million from the Portland Clean Energy Fund appears to be dead in the water.
I think it's just a bridge too far.
I don't know if people have the stomach to do the PSEF bonds.
And I really don't think that renovating a sports arena is what the voters had in mind when they created a climate change fund.
So, a general obligation bond, tax proceeds from the sale of the Blazers, other special use funds? Councilmember Dan Ryan says his peers need to figure it out, saying he's concerned the Blazers could move if a deal doesn't get done.
I don't want to live in a Portland that doesn't have the Portland Trailblazers.
Some fans say that's a bluff, a play by the team to squeeze more public funding.
The numbers do not pencil out for them to leave. This is a convenient negotiating position for them to take because it scares office holders who should be more scared of giving away money and having to face voters for that.
It's a decision that's weighing on city council.
Do we want to be spending money on an entertainment venue when we know that a lot of the public thinks that that should be a priority? So I think that I would describe the general attitude of the Portland City Council, the tenor of the Portland City Council, as nervous.
And Councilor Murillo told us keeping the Moda Center safe and operational would cost a fraction of what the Blazers are asking for. She says the city needs to see a clear plan for returns on investment if councilors decide to pay for upgrades. We'll keep tracking the negotiations.